Clean girl is out, mob wife is in. Here's what this means. We're doing messy hair, we're doing big furs. If your hair isn't perfectly slicked back, that is totally fine. It's an attitude, it's an aura. We all want to be the mob boss's wife because she is a boss in and of herself. Mob wife is unbothered.
You know what I think is so funny? The fact that like mob wife era is in and now all the clean girls are like, no, we're mob wife now. Time out. Okay, let's just review this play. What's different other than that giant fur coat that you're wearing that you probably spent $500 at least dollars on in Revolve, or you stole it out of your mom's coat? Other than that singular item, what's different and why are we rebranding? I don't understand. I'm in this generation. I don't get it.
So late last year, fur coats had a huge pop. I remember I thrifted my first fur coat maybe 2 years ago now, and I was in disbelief because it was at a Goodwill for $30. So beautiful, so brown. And the moment I had when I saw this fur coat was similar to that of the movie scenes where they open something and it's like, ha! That's exactly what this experience was. The fur coat is actually really near me and there's like a hair on my nose from the fur coat. I also always love those campaign posters of women in the early 90s wearing those fur coats. I feel like a lot of my style is inspired by just the early 90s fashion and just that era alone. I thrifted my second one, which is the one in my thumbnail, about a year ago now. And I also really love this fur coat as well. I actually had a chance to style it late last year and it was so cute. And I can't wait to wear it more. I'm actually looking at it. But yeah, I love my fur coats. I love fur coats in general. But let's get into how a staple piece turned into yet another aesthetic. The thing that drives me insane the most about this whole thing is that whenever a piece of clothing trends, we have to make a whole aesthetic about it. It has to be this grandiose launch. Why can't we ever just go, here's a fur coat, here's how to style it, maybe here's the history on it, and here's why they're essential depending on your geographical location. Like, why can't we just make it a history moment of, this is why this is trending, this is where it comes from, this is how long people have been wearing this, and things like that. Another reason I feel like I have an issue with this is just the fact that there's no like end goal. And don't get me wrong, if I like something but it's also trending, I'm not gonna stop myself from getting it. But if I didn't already have these fur coats and I saw it being styled and a lot of people wearing it and I actually loved it, it resonated with my style, I would totally get it, you know? So I definitely don't want to come off as bitter or someone that is just anti-following trends. Even when Sambas were trending, I definitely got a pair and have worn those to the ground. I have to clean them up a bit, but so yeah, I say that to say I'm not above following trends, but at some point, for one, why are we enthused to present a new aesthetic, and why are we enthused to be presented the new aesthetic, if that makes sense? And that question is sort of rhetorical because I know that the answer is the fact that people are trying to feel something through what they obtain when it comes to certain fashion pieces and things like that. But aside from that, I also feel like it's just becoming so cheesy. I mean, it has been for a while, and I don't say this to throw hate on someone that just wants to aesthetic the F out of everything. Like, I understand the psychology behind it. I love aesthetically pleasing sites and places and things and items and things like that. Like, I want everything to fit my aesthetic because that makes me feel good. So I understand a lot of people that were going for all of these aesthetics, like clean girl, soft girl life, and things like that, are starting to pull back and be just sick of it. Even though they themselves fell victim to following an aesthetic at some point when it came to slicking back your hair or gelling your brows and getting them laminated and wearing small hoops and Jisoo lip oil and things like that. Like, we all fell victim to following some sort of an aesthetic at one point. That's just the truth. So yeah, the people that were once, you know, hit with following trends are starting to be like, okay, let's pump the brakes. And I also wonder if the sudden resistance to following new trends is the fact that a lot of people settled into trends that have been well surpassed by new ones, and if they just don't like the pressure of having to be influenced to change. You know, when people say life is a game and we are just avatars in this game, I feel like we're changing the outfits and just whole like wardrobe for our avatars a little bit too much. I was originally gonna say that we're not cartoon characters, but cartoons wear the same outfit to the point where it is distinctive that this character is known for wearing this thing. So I can't even say that because we are just swiping out the cartoon character outfit too much. And it's nothing more than just cosplaying. Like, that's what people are doing. Like, all of these aesthetics and things boils down to, again, wanting to feel something through obtaining said item, but also cosplaying. But when it's being approached as, okay, this is what's in now, this is what we have to run, not walk to get the new fur coat to be the mob wife aesthetic, it's like, okay, let's revise this whole conversation and just say, I'm going to start cosplaying as a mob wife. I'm gonna get the fur coat and pretend I'm a mob wife, and you do you, girl, okay? Or girls.
Okay, so I also want to add, I remember watching this one YouTuber who has cute style, but it's more minimalist and it's more just subtle and simple. And I remember she was going to New York Fashion Week and she had this like trench coat and it had a fur trim, not too much, but she was like, this jacket is so extra, not like in a negative way, but she was like, this is so extra and things like that. And it made me wonder, because like a jacket like that is something that I would just wear. Like, it's not extra to me because I have more of a maximalist, you know, style. And it makes me wonder that these are the same people, the clean girl, I hate saying, the clean girls that are, you know, making a fur coat this whole like crazy, you know, mob wife thing, are just not used to something that is simple to someone else being worn a lot. So to them, it seems like a huge, like crazy outlandish piece to wear, but to other people it's like, it's just a fur coat. Like, it's stylish and it's cute, but it's not anything extra. It's a fur coat in the winter. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But when it's like, this is what we have to look like now, that's when it's like, okay, let's dial back on all of these just costumes. I also feel like a lot of us promote being original, standing out, being different and unique and things like that, all the while promoting the same bodysuit on my timeline that I see every day on TikTok, I swear to God. And it's like, do we want to stand out and be original, or do we just want to be a carbon copy of everyone else? I just feel like our morals, even the most simple ones, kind of contradict how we move in society when it comes to status symbols or faux status symbols and just looking a certain way or looking apart. I also feel like because of this, and this may be problematic to say, and I'll explain why I feel like this is important, but I think gatekeeping is okay 50% of the time.
It's not that I want to gatekeep, it's that everyone looks the same. We're all clones. If it's not the trend, it's the aesthetic. We all are starting to look the same. I don't want to smell the same as you. I don't want to look the same as you. If I like it, I'll tell you, I promise. But also, I don't want to gatekeep. I just don't want us to be clones, or because
there's been so many times where people would wear something so easily searchable just by typing in the colors, the noticeable fabric that it is, the length, like it's just so easily searchable, but people just want pointers. Where did you get that? Where's the link? But it's like, why? Especially when it's a simple cotton tank top, like white cotton tank top in your Google search bar. That's all. That's all. I honestly just hate the fact that people don't know how to like not want something someone else has. Like, we shouldn't want to have what everyone else is having all the time. Like, it's okay if someone doesn't want to share a link with you to where they got their top. 9 times out of 10 though, it's from a fast fashion brand, again, easily searchable and things like that. But don't get me wrong, if you see someone wearing something cute and you know that it resonates with your style and you want it, again, nothing wrong with that. But there's also nothing wrong with someone just not wanting to share it with you. Because again, we should be focusing on cultivating our personal style and not just replicating someone else's personal style. It's personal. Personally, I can acknowledge that someone has on something cute without wanting to rush and go get it. Same for the Stanley Cup. Like, I see that it's durable, there's cute colors and things like that, but I can acknowledge that it's probably a good cup without wanting to go rush and get it. You know what I mean? But as this pertains to this mob wife aesthetic, I feel like we're just fairy telling the F out of everything. Like, it's okay if like a fur coat is trending and that's it. Fur coats are trending, that's it. And we don't have to make every piece of clothing a costume. That's when it becomes like very tiring and exhausting, and we start to see a lot of resentment and resistance towards people who are otherwise, like I said, on board with it, because it's just too much. It also makes me wonder what's next for trends. I personally feel like we're gonna see a decline in all of that. Obviously, we've already hit an exhaustion point, which I talked about briefly in my other video about coquette. I feel like a lot of people are just gonna start to realize like, okay, there's no end game, there's no reward. This is just gonna be an ongoing cycle until I get off the train and find my own personal style and just overall ways to enjoy my own life without girlifying and making everything an aesthetic, you know what I mean? When it comes to a wardrobe at least. But I don't know, I'm excited for everyone to just kind of not have to come up with the next big thing, because not only is it tiring, it's very wasteful, it promotes overconsumption, and the list goes on. But all in all, it is winter. You may just see more fur coats. That is totally normal. Has been for decades, it's just more mainstream now, and that's okay. I personally think that at least one fur coat is so essential in the winter for every person that loves coats and loves being warm. Like, they're essential, especially vintage furs, which I'll leave an article or some articles about just the history of furs, who was wearing them back then and things like that. But I definitely feel like this is a staple piece that you can wear for many, many winters. I cannot wait to wear mine for many, many winters. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.